Hi guys, welcome to Cheryl's Home Cooking. Welcome to Cheryl's Home Cooking, and today what I'm going to show you is how I make my homemade applesauce. So let's get started. In my bowl I have 9 of the McIntosh apples, and they were about medium-sized apples, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, or you can use freshly squeezed lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon, and I have 3/4 cup of water. I peeled and cored each apple. I diced them into small chunks. So now I'll place this mixture in a pot on the stove. So into the pot it goes. Now I'll get the 3/4 cup of water. I'll pour that in. I'll put my burner on medium. And you want to cook these until they get soft. Now that the apples, the ground cinnamon, and the water are in a medium pot, I'll place the lid on top, but before that you can see that they're cut about 3/4 of an inch in chunks. I'll mix them around. What I'm going to do now is to make it a little bit sweet is I'm going to add in 1/4 of a cup of sugar. I'll sprinkle it around. You don't have to add the sugar in, but I wanted it a little bit sweeter. So I'll just mix it in. Now I'll continue cooking it because the apples aren't soft enough. I'll put the lid back on. And you'll heat this over medium heat. You want it to come to a simmer and then continue simmering for about 15 to 20 minutes, stirring occasionally until they're tender. The cooking time varies on how many apples are used. Once they're done, then you'll remove the pot from the stove. You can mash the apples down unless you like it chunky, or put it in a blender if you like it really smooth. You can either serve it warm or chilled. If the applesauce is a little bit too thick, you can add a little bit more water. So see how quick and easy this is to make homemade applesauce? Now it's time to check on my applesauce. Oh yeah, look at that. They've been simmering for a few minutes. Oh, this looks good. I've been simmering this for about 20 minutes. The apples are nice and tender, so now I'll turn my burner off. You can either mash it inside here, cut it up with the spoon, or put it in a blender. I'm going to put it into a blender. The total cooking time will vary. It depends on the variety of apples that you used. So I had this simmering for 20 minutes. Now I'll take my pan off the heat. I'm going to put mine in a blender because I like mine smooth. So now I'll scoop the mixture out of the pot and into my blender. You can see how much the 9 apples made. I'll do a little at a time. You can see it's still hot. I'll do 3 scoops. Now I'll just hit the chop and stop. You can see how that turned out. So now I'll take this mixture, pour it into my bowl. Look at how easy this was to make, and this is really good. So now I'll continue on with the rest. I'll do 3 scoops in this one. I'll put the lid on, hit chop, then stop. You don't leave it on too long. Now I'll continue with the rest. So put the lid on, chop, and stop. And then pour the rest in my bowl. You can see how the texture came out. There's a little bit of chunks in there. I didn't want it too smooth, but I wanted it smooth. So now I'll give it a try. Put my spoon in. Wow, this is good. See how quick and easy this was to make homemade applesauce? So if you need applesauce in a hurry and you have apples in your house or in your backyard growing a tree, make homemade applesauce. Now I'll store this applesauce in an airtight container. You can have it while it's warm, it's very good, or cold. So now I'll put the lid on. So now that my lid is on, I'll let this cool down a little bit before I place it in the fridge. Well, thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Cheryls Home Cooking and watching me make my homemade applesauce. Enjoy. I'll see you guys next video. Bye-bye.